Assalamu alaikum students, I am Shiza Noor, your biology teacher, and I welcome you all to DPS online classes. Students, today's lecture will have very important objectives. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand the basic concept of homeostasis. You will be able to define the terms that are related to homeostasis, which means osmoregulation, thermoregulation and excretion. You will be able to describe the process of homeostasis in plants, which means the removal of carbon dioxide, oxygen, water and many other metabolic waste. And you will also be able to differentiate between the two important terms, which are guttation and transpiration. So let's start our topic, which is chapter number 11, homeostasis. And the basic contents that we are going to discuss in this lecture are homeostasis, osmoregulation, thermoregulation and excretion, removal of extra carbon dioxide, extra oxygen and water and many other metabolic waste from plants. What is homeostasis? Whenever you are living in an environment, you need to maintain a stability within that environment, both internally and externally. Because that stability is very important for your survival in that environment. Everything around us regulates at right levels, sugar level, glucose level, temperature level, many other things that may be internal or external. So homeostasis can be defined as the maintenance of internal conditions of body at equilibrium despite changes in the external environment. It is very simple, which means internal conditions of your body must be at a stable level, must be maintained at a constant level, no matter what the external conditions are. Your internal condition must be stable. So why we need to stabilize the internal environment? What is the need to stabilize your internal environment, your internal condition? Because this stability is very important for proper working of body cells. There are so many cells in your body, muscle cells, nerve cells, and they all work at a stable condition. Similarly, there are many enzymes in your body that work at a particular temperature, at a particular pH, at a particular substrate concentration. So there are so many conditions internally that need to be stabilized for proper working of our body. For example, human body temperature remains 37 degrees centigrade at fluctuating air temperature. It may be summer, winter, autumn, spring. Your body temperature will remain 37 degrees centigrade. Similarly, the blood glucose level remains 1 gram per liter despite eating meal rich in carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are the basic source of glucose or energy in our body. So it doesn't matter how much amount you are eating carbohydrate, the blood glucose level will remain 1 gram per liter. Students, as we are talking about the overall stability of body, there are so many processes that are linked with homeostasis. We shall discuss the process of homeostasis. Number one is osmoregulation, which comes from the word osmosis. It can be defined as the maintenance of the amounts of water and salts in body fluids is called osmoregulation, which means a stability of solvent and solute, which means water and salts in our body is very important, because both these amount of water and salts control the two important movement within a cell, which means osmosis and diffusion. And you are familiar with both these terms. Osmosis is the movement of water across a semi-permeable membrane from a solution of lesser solute concentration to a solution of higher solute concentration. Similarly, the movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration is called diffusion. And both these movements are very important for cell functioning. And if we are talking about cell, there are 3 different type of solution that exist in a cell, जो कि already आप 9th class में discuss कर चुके हैं. That is isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic. If we are talking about isotonic solution, it means the amount of solute and solvent both are equal. And if we talk about hypotonic solution, it contains the less amount of solute and more amount of solvent. In case of hypertonic solution, it has more solute and less solvent. So this is the first process of homeostasis, that is osmoregulation. Let us discuss some other process of homeostasis. Thermoregulation. The word thermo is related to temperature. It is defined as the maintenance of internal body temperature is called thermoregulation. जैसे भी अपने ऊपर होम्योस्टेसिस की एग्जाम्पल डिस्कस की थी, that our body temperature remained at 37 degrees centigrade, whatever the outer or external temperature is. Why we need to stabilize the internal body temperature? Because all enzymes work at a particular temperature, जिसको हम optimum temperature भी कह सकते हैं. And in case of our body, that is 37 degrees centigrade, and if the temperature exceeds, the enzymes will denature, they will break down and they will not work properly. And the other important process of homeostasis is excretion, which means the removal of extra material from your body, and we can define it as the removal of metabolic waste from body to maintain the internal conditions at equilibrium. Which means हमारी बॉडी में इक्विलिब्रियम और कांस्टेंट लेवल पे कंडीशंस रखने के लिए जितने भी मेटाबॉलिक वेस्ट हैं और एक्स्ट्रा मेटाबॉलिक वेस्ट हैं, दे ऑल नीड टू बी रिमूव्ड आउट. Metabolic waste means any material that is produced during body metabolism and that may harm the body. That's why we need to expel out that metabolic waste, and this process is called excretion. So ये 3 important processes हैं जो homeostasis के साथ linked हैं: osmoregulation, thermoregulation and excretion. Students, now we shall discuss about homeostasis in plants. How does a plant deals with external or harmful conditions? As you know, there are so many different kinds of plants. Some of them live in water, some plants live in dry or desert areas. So all these plants use different mechanism for the homeostasis. Some of the important chemicals or waste material that are present in almost all plants is water, oxygen, carbon dioxide, some nitrogenous material and many other. So what does a plant do? It undergoes the homeostasis by 3 different ways: by removal of extra carbon dioxide and oxygen, by removing the extra water, and by removal of other metabolic waste. First of all, we shall discuss about the removal of extra carbon dioxide. In plants, at daytime, carbon dioxide that is produced by cellular respiration is utilized in photosynthesis. And as it is utilized in photosynthesis, it is not a waste product here. While in night time, respiration takes place and there is no photosynthesis. As a result, there is a huge production of carbon dioxide but no utilization of it. In daytime, carbon dioxide produced during cellular respiration is utilized in photosynthesis and is not a waste product. At night, it is surplus or in huge amount because there is no utilization of carbon dioxide. At that point, carbon dioxide needs to be removed out of the plant. Carbon dioxide is removed from tissue cells by diffusion. It's movement of molecule from higher concentration to lower concentration area. In leaves and young stems, it escapes through stomata. Stomata are the small pores which are present on the leaves. The basic function of stomata is to allow the exchange of gases when they are opened. In case of young roots, carbon dioxide diffuses through root hairs. Root hairs are the special structures that are present on the roots, and they provide large surface area for diffusion of carbon dioxide. So this is how extra carbon dioxide is removed from a plant. How extra oxygen is removed from plant? Oxygen is produced in mesophyll cells only during daytime, which means during photosynthesis. Mesophyll cells are the sites of photosynthesis, or they are the main regions where photosynthesis takes place. And oxygen is produced as a byproduct of photosynthesis. As you can see here, carbon dioxide is utilized and oxygen is produced as a result of photosynthesis. And again, this oxygen is used for respiration. After its utilization in cellular respiration, the mesophyll cells remove the extra amount of oxygen through stomata. The pores which are present on the leaves, when they are opened, they allow the exchange of gases. Now we shall discuss about the removal of extra water from plant. Plants obtain water from soil. As you all know, we provide water to plant through soil, and is also produced during cellular respiration along with glucose. Plants store large amount of water in cells for turgidity. This is very important term you have studied in 9th class. Turgidity is a state of swollen or turgid due to high fluid content in cell. As we are talking about plant cell, which consists of a cell wall around it, this cell wall is very important because it provides a definite shape to the plant and is very rigid. Due to this strong cell wall, plant cell does not rupture and has a pressure on it which is called turgor pressure. And this condition is called turgidity. Now what happens with the extra water which is present in the plant body? This extra water is removed from plant body by transpiration. Now what is transpiration? It is the loss of water from plant surfaces in the form of vapors. The plant surfaces means leaves or stem. Now we shall discuss about the process of transpiration or removal of extra water from plant. In this picture, you can see the stomata are opened, and in this picture you can see stomata are closed. As we have discussed about the basic function of stomata, which is the gaseous exchange in a cell. Along with that important function, stomata also helps in the removal of extra water from a plant cell. So we can say transpiration takes place when stomata are opened in daytime. At night, transpiration does not occur because most plants have their stomata closed. So it is very clear that transpiration takes place when stomata are open in daytime and it does not occur when they are closed. If there is high content of water in soil, then in that condition it enters the roots and is accumulated in the xylem vessels, from where it is removed out. Some plants remove the excessive water through some special pores which are present at the leaf tips or edges, and they form drops, as you can see in this picture. These are the margins and edges of a leaf which have drops of water on it. The appearance of drops of water on the tips or edges of leaves is called guttation. This is a very important process other than transpiration. Guttation is not to be confused with dew, which condenses from the atmosphere onto the plant surface. जिसको आप dew drops भी कहते हैं. That is an other condition. But guttation क्या है? It is the appearance of drops of water at the margins or edges of a leaf. But these are not the dew drops. Students, now we shall discuss a comparison of transpiration and guttation. Guttation is the loss of liquid droplets from the plants, as you have seen in the picture. In transpiration, it is the loss of water by a plant in the form of vapors, जिस वजह से हम इसे evaporation भी कहते हैं. Gutated water is a dilute solution of both organic and inorganic substances. It contains organic and inorganic salts along with water in it. While transpired water is a pure water having no organic and inorganic substances in it. Guttation occurs at the margins and the tips of the leaves, as you have seen in the picture, while transpiration occurs through the general surface of the leaves and the young stem. Excessive guttation does not cause loss of turgidity, but in case of excessive transpiration, it results in wilting. In severe cases, it could be lethal to the plant. Plant excessively transpire kar raha hai, there is huge loss of water from a plant, then that could be dangerous for that plant. Students, now we shall discuss about the removal of metabolic waste other than carbon dioxide, oxygen and water in plants. Plants deposit many metabolic waste in their bodies as harmless insoluble materials, which means they do not cause any harm to the plant, but they are stored in their body as insoluble materials like crystals, ice or any other form. For example, calcium oxalate is deposited in the form of crystals in the leaves and stems of many plants, for example in tomato. As you can see in this picture, some insoluble materials are deposited in the form of crystals on the plant body, and they are totally harmless. In trees which shed their leaves yearly, the excretory products are removed from body during leaf fall. This is one of the important way or one of the important procedure by which they can remove their excretory products, which means leaf fall. And there are so many trees which shed off their leaves yearly in every season. The removal of excretory product is a secondary function of leaf. If leaves are not shed, calcium oxalate just remains as harmless crystals in the leaves. As the removal of excretory product is not their primary or basic function, so leaves अगर shed नहीं भी होते, अगर fall off नहीं भी होते in every season, then in that condition जो भी उनका insoluble material है, for example calcium oxalate, that will remain as harmless crystal in their leaves. Students, there are some other metabolic waste removed by some plants which are given here. For example, resins by coniferous plants, gums by kikar, latex by rubber plant, and mucilage by carnivorous plants and ladyfinger. And there are many other metabolic waste. In this picture, you can see the resin drops from a cut tree, and this is also a metabolic waste. In the next picture, you can see the latex being extracted from a rubber plant, which is a metabolic waste. And at the end, you can see the mucilage drops on a carnivorous plant, which is also a metabolic waste. So this is all about the homeostasis in plants. We have discussed about the removal of carbon dioxide, oxygen, water, and many other metabolic waste from a plant body. Now we shall assess our lecture with the help of some multiple choice questions. Number 1, the maintenance of water, salts, glucose and temperature in the body is called as filtration, excretion, homeostasis or reabsorption. And the correct answer is homeostasis. because we are talking about water, salt, glucose, temperature, all of the processes that are maintained in our body. Number 2, plants store a large amount of water in their cells for transpiration, turgidity, photosynthesis, or guttation. And the correct answer is turgidity, because their cells keep or store a large amount of water, due to which they become turgid or rigid cell. Number 3, the elimination of metabolic waste from body is called excretion, respiration, osmoregulation, or thermoregulation. And the correct answer is excretion. Number 4, which type of waste materials are excreted by rubber plants? Latex, gums, resins, or mucilage? And the correct answer is latex. Now we shall discuss about some short question answers related to this topic. Number 1, define the terms homeostasis and osmoregulation. In this question, you will write the definition of homeostasis and osmoregulation as we have studied in this lecture. Number 2, what is thermoregulation and excretion? इस क्वेश्चन में भी आप डेफिनेशन राइट करेंगे थर्मोरेगुलेशन एंड एक्सक्रीशन की. नंबर 3, हाउ प्लांट्स रिमूव एक्स्ट्रा कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड? As we have discussed about the removal of carbon dioxide by diffusion, by stomata, or by diffusion through root hairs, you will write all 3 ways in answer of this question. Number 4, how plants remove extra oxygen? You will write here about the mesophyll cells and stomata by which extra oxygen is removed out of the plant body. Number 5, differentiate between guttation and transpiration. इसका टेबल ऊपर लेक्चर में गिवन है, अब वही टेबल इसके आंसर में राइट करेंगे. एटलीस्ट 5 डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन guttation and transpiration. Number 6, why transpiration does not occur at night? Transpiration depends upon the opening and closing of stomata, and when stomata are closed at night, transpiration does not occur. ये आप इसके आंसर में राइट कर सकते हैं. Number 7, how leaves remove their excretory products? By shedding off or by falling off their leaves. और अगर वो fall off नहीं कर सकते, then in that case excretory products or metabolic waste will remain in their bodies as insoluble materials or crystals. Now we shall discuss about some long question answers related to this topic. Number 1, how do plants remove extra carbon dioxide and oxygen? In this question, you will write about different ways which we have discussed in this lecture about the removal of extra carbon dioxide and extra oxygen. अब डिटेल में इसके सारे प्रोसीजर राइट करेंगे. Number 2, how do plants remove extra water from their bodies? You will write about transpiration, guttation, opening and closing of stomata. ये सारा इस क्वेश्चन के आंसर में आप राइट करेंगे. Number 3, how do plants get rid of their metabolic waste? Give examples. आपने डिफरेंट मेटाबॉलिक वेस्ट पढ़े हैं एंड पे, कैल्शियम ऑक्सलेट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ क्रिस्टल्स, रेजिन्स, लैटेक्स, गम्स, म्यूसिलेज, वो सारे एग्जांपल्स आप यहाँ पे इस क्वेश्चन के आंसर में राइट कर देंगे. So student, this was all about today's lecture. I hope you are clear with all the concepts. Very best wishes for you all. Allah Hafiz.